You know, if there really was a video where MARKIE has the potential to get cancelled, it's probably gonna be this one. But yeah, hello, welcome back to the MARKIE channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please just scroll down and maybe subscribe. We're trying to reach 350k, and maybe one day we might actually get there. So if you do want to help out, that would be bloody great. And also my Instagram is @MARKIE. I almost treat like the stories on Instagram as like my daily vlog almost. So maybe that makes you want to follow it less. But if there is anyone actually out there who cares about my life, go and follow over there. That would be great. But yeah, like I said, this video might be a little bit controversial because what I've done is went over to my community tab on YouTube and asked you guys to give me YouTube unpopular opinions. This can be about YouTubers, drama that's happened in the past, or just anything that just so happened to do with YouTube. But primarily his opinion that might be controversial and I might not even agree with. And what I thought could be fun is if we look through these controversial, unpopular opinions and give my opinion. And if I disagree, I'll tell you I disagree. And if I agree, I'll tell you I agree, okay? But yeah, I feel like this might differ a lot of opinions in the comments, so make sure you do let me know as well what you think. And if you guys like this, I want to do this more often, so for a part 2, I reckon you lot right now, go down, comment something on this video that's a controversial YouTube unpopular opinion, something you want to hear my opinions on, and I'll go through the comments of this video in a future video in like a week or two, okay? So if you do want to see that, leave a comment. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into these, shall we? Okay, right, I've just read the top one. Not exactly the most controversial thing in the world to start off with. And it says, MARKIE doesn't actually have a new flat and is lying shamelessly to his audience with the use of an impressive green screen. He should be cancelled instantly. Oh god, guys, we're being rumbled. Okay, right, you caught me red-handed. Maybe it's time I admit it. You see, basically, I took a bit of inspiration from Nick Ricardo of Avocado and I decided what would be fun. Telling you guys I've moved flat when realistically I've just rented an Airbnb for the night. Hey, did I get you? But yeah, I'm not even gonna answer that one, okay? You can think what you want. Hey, it might be a green screen, it might not be. I don't know. Family channels are one of the most toxic on YouTube. They hardly ever show what a real day in their life is like, and I think it's an invasion of the children's privacy. Now, this is something that I will have to say that I agree with, okay? This is something I've probably been fairly vocal about in previous videos in the past, especially when we spoke about, like, the Ace family and whatnot. Also, I just remembered, I saw so many comments in my last few videos of me saying whatnot all the time, and people were like, oh, take a shot every time MARKIE says whatnot. I'm sorry. I can't stop it. I go through these phases where I say the same thing over and over again in the last about a month, so you've got a month of this. I apologize. But yeah, back to the topic of family channels. I agree. I just think it's a bit unfair in the sense that millions of people are going to see these children in times where, realistically, when they're older, they might not have wanted millions of people to see them. And obviously, when they're at such a young age, they don't really have a choice. They don't really understand the concept of millions of people watching a YouTube channel, you know? And not only that, there's so many of these family channels that just seem to rely on the fact that their children do, like, adorable children things to actually get views and to get money and whatnot. And it's almost as if the children are actors, eh? Their job, they physically wouldn't be able to do it without the child. Now, you see all the time in these family channels, they'll upload a video where it's like the parents in the thumbnail, it'll get X amount of views, and then they'll upload another video where the child's in the thumbnail looking cute or whatnot, and oh God, I said whatnot again, didn't I? Okay, right, I'm gonna stop mentioning it every time I say it. But whenever there's a child in the thumbnail, it'll just get more views because the people are like, oh, we want to see like the family life and whatnot. And then you get people like the Ace family who walk around with about 10 security guards and think that the dog's bollocks just because people like the fact that they've got children. Hey, aren't you so talented? But yeah, that's a strong agree off the start. I don't agree with much of what Trisha Paytas has done, but there's certain situations she gets involved in that I can't help but agree with her. Practically the most recent Shane/Jeffree drama. Now, yet again, this is kind of something I agree with, okay? I do believe, though, as much as we have been defending Trisha Paytas quite a lot recently, Trisha Paytas has done some of the worst stuff on the platform, okay? She's very problematic, and there's a lot of stuff she does that I just don't agree with, and I do think she is a bit of a dick sometimes. But one thing I don't agree with is when like a certain situation happens, like a lot of people who have a certain opinion on a certain person will automatically come up with their opinion on the situation based on what they think of the person. Example, if Trisha Paytas gets herself in some drama, if you don't like Trisha Paytas, someone might just be like, oh, well, Trisha Paytas is in the wrong, okay? Fuck her. Which that is just something I don't agree with, okay? I like to think that I would look at every situation for what it is and come up with my opinions of who actually is in the wrong, no matter how I feel about that person. Which is why I feel like one of the episodes that we did in the cancel corner where we were defending Trisha Paytas with the Shane and Jeffree situation and that Hair by J guy, it did seem like we were really defending her for once, okay? And usually we kind of go at her. But that was simply because in that situation, we just kind of thought she was in the right. But now on the flip side, I do also think there are certain people that if they have done something that I'm talking is criminal, okay? And unfortunately, there is a fair few people on YouTube who have done things that are literally criminal. It's at that point you can just choose not not even care about their situation or whatnot, and you don't even think they deserve the sympathy at that point. But that, like I said, is for people who have done the worst of the worst. The same people who hate cancel culture are the ones who buy into it. If we just didn't engage with it, then it wouldn't happen. Now, this is one that I kind of disagree with. I disagree with the first half, but I kind of agree with the second half. I think there are a lot of people who hate cancel culture and they just don't buy into it, okay? I think a lot of people who do buy into cancel culture are people who do actually like cancel culture and usually do the hashtags all a bit like so-and-so is over party and all that shite. The problem here is it depends on what your definition of cancel culture is, okay? Some people like to think that cancel culture is just people kind of doing like videos talking about situations like me, or people who are just calling up people out on Twitter for something they did that was problematic. And for me, that just isn't cancel culture. I feel like people are over-exaggerating the phrase at that point. I mean, who am I to determine what the phrase actually means? But for me personally, I think cancel culture is like the equivalent of like going through someone's like old tweets from 10 years ago and saying like they don't deserve to ever be on a platform ever again, and trying to get their Twitter suspended and get their channels terminated and say they don't deserve any fan base again, okay? That's a bit different. Which is why, even though I agree, like, yes, if we didn't engage in it, I guess it wouldn't happen, I feel like you should. I feel like you should engage with criticizing people and calling people out when they do stuff wrong. I feel like, how is the world ever going to get better if we just let people kind of get on and do their thing, especially when the thing they're doing is dodgy? I don't know why I said dodgy like a fucking supervillain there, by the way. I sound like Jeffree Star. Jesus, maybe he's wearing off on me, guys. Oh no, I'm like a Sith Lord now. But yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from, and I feel like a lot of people would be split on this, whether they agree or disagree with it. I think overall, though, kind of disagree. The Frenemies podcast is ridiculously entertaining considering how unlikable both Trisha and Ethan are. Now, you know what? I agree, kind of, although I don't actually think Ethan is that overly unlikable. I know there's a lot of people who say a lot of things about Ethan. A lot of people genuinely do dislike him, but I've never been under the impression that I really dislike Ethan Klein or anything. Actually, on second thought, I kind of do like his content. I have liked his content for quite a few years now. Has he done shit wrong? Obviously, I'm not going to defend that in the slightest, but I do think he is especially a lot more likable than Trisha, if we're just generalizing it like that. But yes, I agree. The podcast, I think, is very entertaining. I do watch quite a few episodes. I wouldn't say every episode. I'd say maybe like 1 in every 3 episodes. I'll sit and put it on, like if I'm like editing or something, I'll just have it on the background, and I enjoy it. And I think it's a good concept for a podcast. Two people who at the start didn't like each other, had very different opinions, very different personalities. Granted, they do like each other now. I mean, they don't really have a choice because they are family. But I think having conflicting opinions and conflicting personalities is a good concept for a podcast, so I do actually enjoy it. So you know what, Outdated? I'll give you an agree. A strong agree right there. Everyone likes Dan more than Markie, so Markie had to off him. He should have less of a career than Shane Dawson. Jesus Christ, mate, are you feeling alright? Yes, guys, the reason why I'm not doing a cancel corner today is because you're fired! Dan's no longer. You guys liked him too much. I had to get rid. And no, in actual fact, the cancel corner is still going on. I'm quite glad that you do like him, because, I mean, if you didn't like him, it would kind of put a dampen on the series. But yeah, they seem to be the videos I'm kind of enjoying the most recording right now, so I am glad you do like them, to be honest. And no, I haven't killed Dan. Yet. I believe pranks aren't really pranks anymore. It's mostly dying pranks or missing people pranks. It's never been funny and it never will be. Now, you know what? I will go with... I reckon it's a disagree overall. I get that people like dying pranks and missing people pranks. That's a no-no. If you just said that, I would agree. But I do think there's a right way to do it. It's a different style of content. I don't particularly enjoy it. There's no way in hell I would sit and click on like a prank video or whatever. Just not interested. But it's a right way to do it, isn't it? There's a way you can do it, and it's like wholesome and whatever, and it doesn't hurt anybody, and it can be quite funny. I think one that sticks out, and granted, you lot are primarily American, so you might not actually know what this is, but to my UK people, do you know like Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway, where they do like the undercover pranks and whatnot? I think that's good. I enjoy that, and if people did more of that on YouTube, I would enjoy it. So I don't think the whole concept of pranks is like the fucking devil or anything. I don't think, oh god, gosh darn it, you pranksters, I hate you all. But there's definitely a lot of dicks that do it, and if you do pranks where you like pretend to die and you like say you're missing and whatnot, yeah, you're a bit of a dick. Aleezy Easy is the best channel, eh? I mean, we did say they were unpopular opinions, so fair enough. No, I'm joking, okay, Aleezy, fucking hell, okay. Actually, to be fair, me and Aleezy have been talking about doing maybe like a collab at some point coming up soon, so if you are interested in that, let me know. I was actually thinking about maybe getting her on the cancelled corner once like the whole lockdown stuff is done or whatever, and it'll still be like me and Dan, and then we'll have like a third guest, and I could get other guests on. If that's something that interests you, do let me know. Every YouTuber seen partying during the pandemic either has a drug or alcohol problem. Nah, I'll disagree, because realistically, it's every YouTuber has a drug or alcohol problem, so you could have made it a lot more simple. I mean, come on, we're on the same site as like Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star and whatnot, okay? It just happens. The Fine brothers should have had as much public backlash as Shane for the Hey Miley situation. Or Hey Millie? What the fuck's Hey Millie? Have I missed something here?
Is this the right way to do it in a good way?
You could be a little more gentle. You know what we could do, Millie?
What?
Motorbike!
Oh, Jesus, fuck it. How have I never seen this before? I've never even heard of this.
This one I gotta show. I know you guys are over it, but this one's so weird because it features Raffi Fine, the Fine brother. I had this.
That is just your...
No, it's proven.
I figured it out.
It's proven. I was watching this and I got... All right, I gotta tone it down.
It was a really good spot, though.
No, because I was like... I was like, wow, this video is so disturbing. Then, for a moment, it swings over to the Puppet Master, and I was like, holy shit, that's a Fine brother. That's Raffi Fine. And then Dan looked it up, and we 100% confirmed.
Are they trying to say the person using that puppet, the Millie character, was one of the Fine bros? Am I catching this right? How have I never seen this? This is like a weird, like cesspool on YouTube that I've never even heard of.
Puppet named Hey,
show.
It's Millie.
Yeah, there you go.
By Raffi Fine. You'll see it's 100% confirmed.
Hey, Shane? Well, is it wrong to touch yourself in the nether regions?
This shit is so disturbing.
Oh, what the fuck, man?
So
Shane,
weird.
Shane, can I ask you a question, Shane?
What?
Shane, will you fuck me?
How was it? This is the weirdest shit ever, man. He's such a weird bloke. A really, really weird bloke.
Shane, wait, follow-up question?
What?
What does fucking mean? Shane, is fucking bad?
Why don't you touch yourself a little bit?
What do you mean, like my face?
Wait, you're not moving your lips.
You see? Raffi Fine.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? This is weird. I mean, yeah, I didn't even know this situation was a thing, but yeah, I agree. It's interesting as well because I got DM'd this article the other day it was either someone who just works at Insider or it was the person who written this. I think it was just someone who works at Insider. And this article is kind of about how, like, years ago, the Fine Bros did blackface, and then when this kind of all got brought up again, a bunch of people who used to work at Fine Bros also came out and said that they actually were a victim of racism in the workplace at Fine Bros. I mean, look at this, okay? It says 26 ex-FBE employees and contractors said the issues historically went deeper, alleging they or others experienced racism. Like, yeah, it's all about allegations and whatnot, okay? But when there's 26 fucking people involved at just like a workspace, seems fairly believable, doesn't it? Now, obviously it is allegations or whatever, but yeah, it seems like their whole system was just fucked in many different ways. If it's from the Hey It's Millie character to literally them being racist, or people who also work for them are racist. It's a racist environment where they work. Like, it's a bit strange. It's very, very strange, okay? And yeah, I definitely think these people should be accountable and they should be looked into a bit here, because I feel like there's a lot going on. Like, how many allegations can be made until you realistically need to stand there and be like, what the fuck is actually happening here? Right, but either way, for the next one, we have YouTube houses are toxic as fuck. I mean, usually, yeah, I agree, but I would disagree in the sense that they don't have to be. There's obviously a lot more houses that can be quite easily non-toxic. I'm sure that actually is that I'm just not aware of. I mean, one that I can think of is when the Sidemen lived together. That was technically a YouTube house, right? And they seemed pretty fine. They had never got themselves involved in drama. But what I do agree with is like these LA YouTube houses or like TikTok houses, for example, where like a company comes in and invests a bunch of money and just gets a bunch of people who were never even friends in the first place, just gets them together and they're like, oh, we're gonna make you like TikTok famous. And all of a sudden their personalities clash. They start getting too much fame. It all goes to their head. Yes, that is toxic as fuck. Here's two. Trisha Paytas is actually entertaining and interesting, and the second one is reaction videos are great and most people's guilty pleasure. Well, I hope so. For the first one, I can get why people think Trisha Paytas is entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, I don't ever sit and watch a video of Trisha Paytas for entertainment. I'm sure a lot of people do. The only time I will ever actually watch a Trisha Paytas video is if it's kind of drama related, you can tell from the title, or a bunch of people have DM'd me about it and told me that it's like drama related and it's something that I could potentially look into. And as for you people enjoying reaction videos, I hope so. though. I mean, I like watching reaction videos a lot. That's why a lot of people make reaction channels. I mean, another example, the same people we just spoke about, Sidemen made a reaction channel or whatever. I think a lot of people enjoy it. I think there's definitely a way where you can do it that's very shit, where people just kind of have like the square off the screen in the corner and there's no cuts and they hardly say any words. That can be a bit shit, but if you do it the right way, I'd like to think it's enjoyable. I mean, that's more views to make your mind up when it comes to me, but I personally like watching other people who make similar content, I guess. The only reason James Charles gets as much hate as he does is because he's more mainstream and than most YouTubers, and his enemies have the most toxic stands: Jeffree, Shane, and Trisha. You know what? I'm gonna have a bit of a strong disagree on this one. I actually think it's kind of the complete opposite. I feel like YouTubers support other YouTubers when they get into the mainstream. I mean, especially in like the UK YouTube scene right now, we've had a couple of people who've been on like Strictly Come Dancing and I'm a Celebrity and whatnot, and I feel like a bunch of YouTubers support that. In fact, they really support it. I think the reason why a lot of people have a problem with James Charles is he has done a lot of shit. As much as you might like his content, you might enjoy his content, as much as he's not as bad as like Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, he has done a lot of stuff that's wrong. He offended a lot of people. He does seem to lash out really, really easily in situations that just don't involve him, and I think that's why a lot of people kind of dislike him a little bit. But then I also do agree on the flip side that because of all them situations, if he does something that isn't that big, people will make it more of a big thing and like over-exaggerate it just because it is James Charles. But yeah, overall, I think I actually strongly disagree with that one, Aubrey, my friend. Oh, Aubrey, by the way, is Drake watching? Hello, Canada. Hope you're doing well. That's a funny one to end it on, you know. Marky needs to get some decor for his flat because the emptiness in the background of his videos is just so saddening. I'm sorry, okay? Are these little, like, lion things up here on the shelf, are they not making you happy, yeah? Does it not tickle you in your stomach? Look, I'm gonna decorate this place, I promise you. I've just moved in, guys. I've been here, what, like, a week? A week and a half, maybe? Let me just wait till the end of the month, okay? You know, when I get paid, and then we can actually purchase things, okay? Right, give me time. I need time. But on that note, I guess, if you do want to suggest things we should put on the shelf back there, then do let me know. I do actually want to make this room look kind of nice, so try my best. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you did enjoy. Like I said, something different. If you do want to see a second one, let me know in the comments, and also just let me know your unpopular opinions, something you want to see me talk about in the future episode, maybe in like 2 weeks or something. And I think this could be fun. And obviously, like I said, if you are new here and you did enjoy this video, please do subscribe because we're trying to reach 350,000 subscribers and it would help out a lot. And as always, my Instagram and Twitter, both at @MARKIE, so if you don't go and follow there, that'd be great. And actually, as you watch this video, I realistically should actually have Wi-Fi. I know I said that like a video ago, but genuinely, I should have it by then. I don't want to jinx it, okay? Touch wood. But that means I can actually do streams again. I'm going to do some streams on YouTube, and I'm going to do some on Twitch. I'm going to mix and match a little bit and see what you guys enjoy. The problem with doing on YouTube, though, is that I feel like it gets in the way of like videos I'm uploading. So like if I want to stream on YouTube before I'm going to go like upload a video, it makes the video do worse and it all affects each other. So that's why it's kind of good being like a different platform. But we'll experiment. We'll see what you guys enjoy more. And yeah, I guess until tomorrow then. See you guys in a bit. Hey? Okay. Good.